She's really good at her job. I don't want this book to end. Yeah, I didn't get an arc. Hello! Happy June. I know it's been June for a couple of weeks now. However, I started filming this when it was closer to the beginning of this month. So my two most anticipated reads came out like kind of close together. So The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig came out I think at the end of May, and I loved One Dark Window and Two Twisted Crowns. Loved her writing. Loved that world. Honestly, thinking about rereading it because it's so good. So I was thrilled that she was coming out with a new book. And then of course, one of my favorite authors ever, V.E. Schwab, came out with Bare Bones and the Midnight Soil on June 10th. And I'm not gonna lie, I have been counting down every single day of this year until June 10th because I'm so excited about that book. Like, truly. Life is worth living when waiting for a new book release. This is my video of reading both of those books. I hope you enjoy, and if you take nothing away from this video, if you stop watching it right now, please just read those two books. Please just go read those two books, and that's all I have to say. So, enjoy. On page 31 of The Night and the Moth. It's so good so far. The way that Rachel Gillig writes a world, I mean, like, I know that like she writes gothic romance, but she does it so well. Or not gothic romance, gothic fantasy, or really gothic romantasy. Either way, she's really good at her job. So I went into this book completely blind. No clue what it's about. Because I don't care what it's about, because it's Rachel Gillig, so I'm gonna read it. The main female character is a diviner. I think that's how you pronounce it. I keep saying diviner in my head, but I don't think that's correct. But basically, she like goes through this process and sees people's vision or future through these omens, basically. The omens are kind of like the religious aspect of this world. And then the main male character, I think, well, he's a knight. Considering the book is called The Night and the Moth, I think I'm on the right track. Yeah, he's like a really close friend of the king. I don't know what all I can tell you, but that's what I'm gonna say. One thing I have to say, like completely unrelated to the plot, the story itself, this book, the Barnes & Noble like sprayed edges special edition, is so heavy. Like, this is like seriously like a textbook. Like, I don't understand why this book is so heavy. These pages I do think are really thick. And they're like a weird color. They're very white compared to like an off-white color, like Blood Over Brighthaven. Those are kind of like off-white. These are like stark white. It's very strange. I don't know what's going on, but like I'm usually not the type to be like, oh, I really want to read this book on Kindle, even though I have the physical copy, but this is one that I'm like, I wish I had this on my Kindle. Seriously, I don't know why it's so heavy. It's weird. It's weird. Anyways, I really like the fact that there's like little moth illustrations like for like a paragraph break. That's adorable. And then at the start of the chapter, there's like a little thing. I love that. I love little like details like that in a book because I feel like it just makes them so special. But yeah, I don't entirely know where the story's going. Like I said, I went into this book completely blind. I think I'm gonna keep reading. I don't know. It's kind of late. It's like 11. I'm just not tired, so I want to keep reading. I just don't know if I'll do any more updates for today. 331. First of all, this book is so good. I'll like go on an entire rant about it later, but I don't have that much left. There's only 385 pages in this book, and I'm really stressed that they're not gonna like get to the goal, like finish their task, their mission basically by the end of this book, and I'm gonna be left on a cliffhanger, which would make sense because there is another book after this. Obviously it's just not released yet, so obviously it has to end at some point, and I'm really upset about that. Like, I hate when I get to, well, not that I hate any experience of reading this book, but like when I get to this much left of a book and I'm enjoying it so much, I don't want it to end, and then I like start reading it so fast because I need to know what happened. I don't want this book to end. I finished The Night and the Moth, and I gave it 5 stars. This book is so good. I actually loved every single second of it the entire time. Every single thing about it. I actually have no complaints. I mean, I'm gonna read every single thing that she writes. I literally, when I was on Goodreads after I rated it, I went to go look if she's written anything before One Dark Window. She unfortunately has not. But I saw, you know, Goodreads sometimes posts like listings for books, or like posts books that have not been announced yet. Rachel Gillick had a book on Goodreads that has not been announced or anything yet, but it's not the second book in this series, which I need immediately. There was like a plot twist ending. Didn't expect it. Loved it though. Honestly, I'm gonna keep my review pretty short because all I'm gonna do is gush about this book. I just don't have anything bad to say. I just loved everything. I do have to say one major compliment is the gargoyle little sidekick character in this, the best sidekick I've ever read in a book. Why are so many sidekicks that are like supposed to be cute little fun additions, like funny little comedic side characters? Why are they all so annoying? Not this one. I love this gargoyle. I think I need to take a melatonin because it's the night before Bare Bones and the Midnight Soil releases, and I actually don't think I would sleep if I don't take a melatonin because I'm so excited. I already bought the special edition, the Owl Crate version. I bought it already. I haven't read this book. It doesn't come out yet. I didn't get an ARC, but I need to read it so badly that I don't know what I'm gonna do with myself. Tomorrow is basically just a timer until I can get Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil. It's kind of a tongue twister, to be honest. But anyways, I'm so excited. Page 201 of Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I didn't know anything about this book before going into it, except for the fact that it's like little kind of slogan for advertising before the book dropped was like toxic lesbian vampires. That's all I knew going into it, which was fine. I love going into books not knowing anything. So we're getting different timelines. Right now, 2 characters. But based on these cards that I got from getting the book on release day at Barnes & Noble, I think that there's going to be 3 characters. But I have not been introduced to the third one's timeline yet. Something I struggle with in books that flash between multiple characters going through different timelines is that I never find myself caring about both of the characters at the same time until probably the very end of the book, if that makes sense. This is like a personal reading thing where I just kind of feel like switching from one person's point of view to the other kind of takes me out of it, and I have to get reattached to the book, which in this case is not very hard because I love V.E. Schwab's writing and I love this book already. It just kind of gets annoying. Like, I don't know, where I just want to be in one person's story for a decent chunk of time. And just at this point, I care about one character way more than I do about the other one. So right now I'm in the 2 point of views of Sabine, who's in Spain in the 1500s, and then Alice, who's at, I think, Harvard in like 2019. So I'm currently enjoying the Spain perspective a lot more. And with the perspective in 2019, that's in Alice's point of view, she talks about her sister all the time. And for some reason, that's like really taking me out of the story because I don't know her sister other than through her, and I don't really care about her sister. And I don't know why we're talking about her sister so much. I think it's weird. Like, it's like flashbacks to her growing up, which of course her sister's always involved in, but it's like the focus is on her sister and not her. I don't know. That's just one thing that's irritating me, and I hope that there's like a reason. I mean, I'm sure there is. Like, I don't think V. Schwab would like write something so prominently without having a reason for it. I just want to know what the reason is because I'm sick of not knowing. But yeah, I'm gonna keep reading and let you know how I feel later. I don't know how much later it is. I don't remember the last time I filmed. Well, filmed an update really. However, I'm 412 pages into Bury Our Bones. I love this book. It's really truly so amazing. I got introduced to the third perspective, so I'm really enjoying that at the moment. And I'm kind of just realizing I feel like we stopped getting the first one's point of view. I don't really know if that's like a spoiler, but it seems like, so we got, this is so annoying because I don't know if it's like saying their names is a spoiler. I don't know. I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm gonna be very vague. The first character's point of view, and then we were introduced to the second character, and then when we were introduced to the third character, we lost the first person's perspective. The first character is still involved. Anyways, it's so interesting. I also am really happy I went in blind. I don't really know how this is gonna end. I kind of feel like I'm really close to the end of the book, and like I have no idea how it's gonna wrap up. Also, that makes me wonder, I always wonder if I can't think of an ending of the book, if this is gonna be a series. I don't know if V.E. Schwab has said anything about that. I could be totally wrong. I could be making this up. I'll let you know if I am, because I thought this was a standalone. I think it's a standalone, but I cannot see this wrapping up in like 100 pages. So I'm confused. I still do think in the character Alice's point of view, I was complaining about her talking about her sister all the time, and she still is. And I am like really not understanding why. Actually, maybe I just pieced it together. The middle of the book maybe slowed down a little bit for me, but it's okay because I love this book so much no matter what. So I'm gonna keep reading and keep you updated. I need to finish this tonight. I'm gonna go sit on the couch and do that. Okay, I'm gonna use this tiny mic because I just got it and I think it's fun. And also the AC is about to turn on. And hopefully that means since the AC is gonna be on that you can still hear me.
It's like 72 in here, which is atrocious.
It's because I turned the air off earlier to film me talking. So if this solves our problems, we're gonna be living in luxury.
Living like rich folk.
Okay, so I finished Bury Our Bones and I gave it 5 stars, which I don't think anybody should be surprised. Hopefully you aren't. I mean, I'm not. I basically knew I was going to rate this 5 stars because I love V. Schwab so much and I love her book so much, and this one is no different. I will tell you something though. If you've never read V. Schwab, first of all, you should. Second of all, I will never tell you that you're going to be on the edge of your seat for the entire book because that is just not the case. Her books are very character driven, character focused, almost character study-ish, if you will. So I didn't go into this expecting it to be high stakes, fast paced, whatever. But I will say the pacing of this was kind of strange. I think I touched on that a few times throughout my updates. Basically, with my last update, I was saying how I didn't know how I was going to wrap up in the last 100 pages, probably like 130-ish pages. And I was even contemplating if it's a series. It's definitely not. This is a standalone book. However, I think that's what I'm saying though with the pacing being so strange is that the book was unfolding in a way that made sense until the last 100 pages, where it kind of felt like, oh, okay, this is the end. Oh, this has to be the end. I hope that makes sense. Basically, I just feel like the ending was kind of rushed. And I think with a lot of the time we spent with Alice in her backstory, we could have had that time for her current development. I just feel like we were, it's just hard. I know we were in the past for a lot of these characters' perspectives, and that makes sense with the story. I'm sorry, this also was very hard to explain while being vague. I just am kind of sad. I feel like Alice was not as well-rounded as the other characters, and I wanted to see more from her. That's my only really thoughts about the book, besides that I loved it so much and that it's amazing, and I love everything that B. Schwab writes, and I want her to have another book out right now. Also, I highly recommend actually reading both Bury Our Bones and The Night in the Moth, because I forgot that I also read that in this video, and I highly recommend both of these books, especially The Night in the Moth if you've not read Rachel Gillig, or if you're looking for a really, really good romantasy, because I think she does it the best, honestly. That's the end of this video. I'm so happy you came along with me to read my most anticipated reads of this year. Thanks for tagging along. Hopefully I'll see you in the next video, and bye.